Hey guys, this is lesson 29. This one isn't too bad. I just suggest you take it step by step. So let's start here. I'm going to start by drawing my ethane, so 2 carbons. And then I'm going to add a methoxy. So at either one of the positions, I'll go ahead and add my oxygen with 1 carbon attached. Add my hydrogens, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to begin by looking for my longest carbon chain, which is this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, propane. And then I see I have an oxygen at the 2 position with an ethyl attached. So that is my ethoxy. And then I'll go ahead and go to the front and put 2 dash. So 2 dash ethoxy propane. And I like to turn it this way because like here it's kind of confusing. It looks like you have like all these extra molecules or like a tert-butyl or whatever it is. And this one I like to see just the longest chain with whatever it is attached to it. It just, for me, it's easier to visualize. Okay, my longest carbon chain, 1, 2, 3, propane, and then I have a methoxy at the 1 position, so I'll put 1 dash methoxy propane. And I didn't check it on the one before, but we need to also check for some chiral centers. I believe there will be a few problems with chiral centers, so just keep an eye out. I don't see any though because all the carbons here have duplicates of hydrogen. Okay, longest carbon chain. Again, I'm going to move this so that I can just see it side by side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my butane. And then I have a methoxy at the 2 position, so 2 dash methoxy. And I'm going to look for a chiral center. I see one, this one right here, because it doesn't have any duplicates attached. It's attached to a hydrogen, a methoxy, a methyl, and an ethyl. So that's my chiral center. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going right there to the right, so it's R conformation. And I know some people were having trouble with the chiral centers, so I'll go over again how to find that chiral center, or how to find if it's RS. Oops, sorry, my son. How to find out if it was RS. So this is our chiral center, and we have to go 1 bond out to see for priorities. So 1 bond out, 1 bond out, 1 bond out, and we see we have oxygen over here, carbon over here, and a carbon. So oxygen, carbon, carbon. Oxygen is the highest priority than these 2 carbons down here. So this is going to be our first priority. Next, we're going to start evaluating between these 2. So I'll change the color. So now we're going to go 1 bond out from this carbon. 1 bond out, 1 bond out, 1 bond out. So what we have is this hydrogen, this carbon, this hydrogen. So C and 2 H's. Now we're going to go 1 bond out for this one. 1 bond out, 1 bond out, 1 bond out. There's only 3 bonds, so that's why we only go 3. And that's 3 hydrogens. This one has a carbon, and this one only has 3 hydrogens. So this will be the second priority because carbon is higher priority than hydrogen. So this is 2, and this will be 3. So now what's left to do, I'll just go ahead and do an arrow. We're going to go from the 1 position to the 3 position. So 1, 2, 3. It's going right there to the right, so it's R conformation. Since the hydrogen is in the back of this carbon, we leave it. If it was in the front, then we would have to switch it from R to S. Because that's whenever you're doing conformations, just make sure your hydrogens are in the back, so you won't have to change it. But just know that if your hydrogen is facing forward, it's going to be opposite conformation of what you get. So we have R conformation. I hope that helped a little bit. And the reason oxygen is higher conformation than carbon is because it weighs more on the periodic table. Okay, I'm going to start by drawing my methane. Again, I take this step by step, even though this is a simple one. I like to just take methane first and then add my methoxy. So that's the only position. So I'll add my oxygen, and methoxy means I'll have 1 carbon on that oxygen. And that's it. Again, no matter how simple, if you take it step by step, it'll be easier. Okay, so this is a good one to practice on. So I'm going to read backwards. I'm going to start by drawing my propane. So 3 carbons. I'm now going to add my methyl at the 2 position. I have a methyl right there. And now I got this over with, I have a methoxy at the 2 position as well. So I'll add my oxygen to that 2 position, and it's a methoxy, so I'll add 1 carbon to that oxygen. Add my hydrogens. I didn't mean to press mirror. And this will be your end product, a propane, a methyl at the 2 position, and a methoxy also at the 2 position. Okay, I'm going to start by drawing my ethane, 2 carbons. I'm finished with that. I'm going to move on to my ethoxy. Either position is 1 position, so you can draw it wherever. Add my oxygen, and it's an ethoxy, so I'll add 2 carbons to that oxygen. Add my hydrogens, and this will be the end product. Okay, I'm going to start by drawing the butane, 4 carbons. There's no methyls, so I'm going to start drawing that 1 methoxy. So methoxy at the 1 position, add my oxygen, and I only need 1 carbon because it's a methoxy. Add my hydrogens, and this is the end product. Okay, longest carbon chain, 1, 2, 3. I have propane, and then at the 1 position, I have a ethoxy, because there's 2 carbons attached to that oxygen, which means it's an ethoxy. So 1 ethoxy propane. Oops, I pressed submit. Okay, so I'm going to take it 1 step at a time. 1, 2, 3. My longest carbon chain is a propane. I'm going to look for my methyls. I see 1 at the 2 position, so I'll put 2 methylpropane. And now I'm going to add my methoxy. It's at the 1 position, so 1 methoxy dash 2 methylpropane. So methoxy at the 1 position and a methyl at the 2 position. Lastly, I'm going to check for chiral centers just to make sure. I don't want to get it wrong. I have these outside carbons that have duplicates of hydrogen. And then this carbon would be my chiral center, but it has 2 methyls attached. So it has a duplicate. So I have no chiral center, and I can leave it as 1 methoxy 2 methylpropane. Okay, I hope this helps. And remember for the naming, I know here there's not a lot of chiral center ones, but just keep looking out for that one because there's about, I think, just 2 that might have a chiral center when you're doing the naming. And then the drawing, of course, just take it 1 step at a time. And the drawing will specify if it's a chiral center or not, so just keep an eye on that. And yeah, good luck on this lesson.